O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rheaume can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Alrighty. Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you all are doing well on a beautiful Wednesday. Why is it beautiful? Because we're here. We're alive. We're given another day. We're blessed. So we're good. Hope it is sunny wherever you're at. Hope it's not raining. And hopefully you're not stuck in the Gulf nations. If you are, prayers to you out there. Anyway. Hope all is well out there. Don't forget to smash the like button as you're watching the show or listening at any time. Don't forget you can also hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live. And, of course, you can make a donation to the show. Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Send in your questions, comments, all kinds of good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, the markets opened up in a little green right now, just a little bit.
up 57 points, almost 58 right now. Just a little bit. You just never know with what's going on with all the stuff. And then the S&P is up 20 points, and the NASDAQ is barely up a half a point. Bitcoin is actually doing very well. It's up almost 8%. It is up at $72,000, so it's made a bit of a jump here. At one point or another, it's going to start making jumps, and everything going on the geopolitical side is only going to infuse it, and it continue and all that good stuff. But hey, man, I am consistent as hell with this. I don't worry about it. I take advantage of it is what I do. So that's the way I look at it. I know where we're going. Eventually, it'll all go because eventually everybody will be educated on it and they'll figure things out. So, it's just some people are playing chess and and mostly others are playing checkers. Not that it's financial advice. Never has been, never will be, because I don't know anything. But we shall see what we shall see, right? Anyway. Good stuff last night with the Miami Heat. Good stuff maybe for the Panthers. I got to tell you something. I've been kind of at the point over the last couple of weeks that, hey, the season's over and all that. And, and then they go into the break and they come out of the break and, they're playing like shit. I got to tell you, I'm openly rooting for them to not make the playoffs. And if they can have a high pick, even better for them this year. That's what they need. The Panthers don't need the playoffs. The Panthers need a lot of rest. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. So I am openly rooting for them not to make the playoffs. It's not like I'm going to sit here and say, I need you to lose, but I'm not. The worst thing that could happen to the Florida Panthers is look, right now with last night's loss, okay, which is stupid. They are in the 14th spot in the conference. They are 10 games behind the last playoffs. 10 points behind the last playoff spot. Okay, there's 19 games left, and 13 of them are on the road. It's over, and it's so understandable. You're worn out, you're burnt out, and you're super injured. And the best thing that can happen to the Florida Panthers is that they absolutely miss the entire playoffs and they get a full off season of rest. Whether they get a top 10 pick or not, that'll be the bonus, dude. I don't care. But I don't want them to make the playoffs. And I'm openly rooting for them not to make the playoffs. Okay? That's where I'm at right now because I think that's the best thing for them. Okay? They don't need to get to the playoffs and then suffer more injuries and all. It's too much. It's 3 full seasons where you played more hockey than everybody. It's 3 off seasons where you had less rest than everybody. And you won 2 of the 3. God bless you, dude. You did more than any of us could ever dream of. You suffered a setback this year. That's fine. A team like this, they actually need the rest and then come back and recharge for next year, I think would be the best possible thing that could happen to this team. They can come back pissed off and focused and healthy and start the season healthy. That was the problem this year, man. There was just so many injuries. It started with your 2 best players, and then on top of all of that, a whole bunch of other injuries on that. And then you go, okay, well, maybe we can recover. No, and then as the season went on, it's just more and more and more and more people, and it's impossible. You're human beings. There's no shame here. I'm not mad. Nobody should be mad. We all should be super grateful. And we should all be like protective parents right now for the Panthers. They don't need this, dude. They don't need this. They don't need it. The hockey playoffs, as you all have learned now, and some of you already knew, it's brutal, dude. They don't need that physical beat down right now. Not even one series. Now, or not even if they get lucky and they fight through a 7-game series where they just go, and then they have to go through another one and then they get eliminated, but they played 2 series and they end up, more injured and more worn down and less time to rest. It's not worth it. They're not winning the cup. They're not good enough right now to win the cup. They don't have the team. They don't have the chemistry. They don't have their game. They cannot force their will on people for 3 periods. And that's what they were heavy and they came at you in waves, and they can't do that anymore. So until you can get everybody healthy and give everybody a chance to rest, it's tough, man. It's tough. So I just hope that everybody's good with it, and just like, let's call it a year for the Panthers. That's kind of what I was just thinking about last night. I was just like, let's just get through this, man. Let's just finish this. And when I'm looking it over this morning, and 19 games are left and 13 are on the road. I mean, bro. And you're back 10 points behind the 8th spot. You got to jump us. You're at 14th. Come on, man. There's 5 teams between you and 8. That's ridiculous. You're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. So let it go. Forget about it. Don't get pissed. There's no reason for you to be pissed because it's all bad luck this year. This isn't the Heat of 2006 when they won in 2005. And then they all came back out of shape, and it was an embarrassing defense of a title. That's not what this is all about. This is just the hockey gods weren't in our corner this year at all. And what are you gonna do, man? And that Barkov injury, there was no contact, nothing. It was in a practice and just went out. And you just know that when shit like that starts to happen to you, you're like, man, this is just not our season. And I was hoping that they could hang in there, get Barkov in the playoffs, remember? But they could not hang in there. Just too many. They were just so snake bitten. It's not fun. It's not fun and not fair, but we got to chalk it up to that because that's what it is. So. Anyway, so I just hope for the best, and I hope for no more injuries and just finish out the season. And guys, man, go take off and go relax, go enjoy your vacation. Don't go to Dubai, go anywhere else, but just, go relax. That's all I would say. Anyway. Appreciate you all out there as always. We thank the great people at Welt and Rheaume, proud sponsors of our program. Love Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume, the best of the best. So many of you, in the last 6 years of this platform, you've called Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. They've solved your cases. And if you're dealing with bankruptcy, because now we're getting people calling for bankruptcy, and I understand because times are tough. Definitely can happen to me. I'm a working ass stiff that just keeps my head above water every month, just like the rest of you. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, 954-966-4646. That's the number, and the consultation is completely free. And let me tell you something. We've had listeners on the East Coast. We've had listeners on the West Coast. We've had listeners in the Gold Coast and in Central Florida all hire Jeff and Dan, so they can do it for you. It's WRFLAlaw.com. So they're covering Florida. 954-966-4646, and the consultation is completely free. All right. Ray Varnicus, good morning to you, sir. Big Johnson is in the house. Ty in the Bronx. Alexis Palenzuela. NorCal. Jeff in Long Island. Cosa. Let's see. Unfortunately, Cats Run is over this season. Yep, exactly, man. It is what it is. Tommy Mayer. Stonely Stanley. One of these days, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale to see family and maybe come down for a pregame. Plus, if was where I was born. Well, hopefully we see you one day, Tommy. Hopefully we see you one day. I don't know if we'll do any of the pre or posts at sports bars this year. That's going to be an even harder sell to walk up to a sports bar and sell a pre and post game show. You know what I'm saying? For the Dolphins, knowing that you're not going to win a lot of games. So something tells me it'll be a studio show this year. And let me tell you, I'm still going to do a pregame. I wasn't really going to do a pregame. You know, if they kept the goofball around, I was definitely not doing a pregame. There's no way I was going to waste my time doing a pre and post game for Mike McDaniel another year. I was just going to do the post game. So this year I'm still going to do the pre and post, but I'm sure it's not going to be at a bar, you know, because I'm not even I don't even know if I have the energy or the goal to walk up to a bar and sell the Dolphins pre and post. To be quite honest, Canes, yes, actually, you know what? Maybe I could do that. I could do pre and post somewhere for the Canes. That might be better. That might be the better move. Let's see. Ocala Joe, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for smashing it and the like button too. Oh, you need to see the shirt. All right, here we go. Inspired by the documentary. So I got a little wings. See? There you go. Got the shirt yesterday in the mail, actually. Watched it over the weekend, and then I go, man, you know, I don't have a wing shirt for the hell of it. And then I saw this combination with blue, because you can change up the color, and I don't have a lot of blue like that most, you know, like everybody. Most concert shirts are black. So once in a while you'll find a white that you like. That's the next color, and then you'll find others. Grays, reds, blues, things like that. And so I saw this one, and I thought with the logo that it had and the blue, it was like a really cool combination. So I bought it. There you go. What the hell? I love Wings. I can listen to Paul McCartney and Wings era on a loop. You know, I love the Beatles, and I love all the guys and all their solo careers. And Paul McCartney's career for me was his solo career is phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal. He's got so many songs, you know. He's like one of those artists that you put in double, you know, that they go in as a solo artist and then they go in with their bands. You know, now, there's a few of those in our lifetime. He's one of those dudes that should go in that, or is probably in. I would imagine he's in twice. I would imagine. Can you check that for me? Paul McCartney has got he's got to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Got to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Has to be. I mean, it'd be ridiculous if you hadn't put him already in the. But then again, they are ridiculous at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so it's possible that he's only in as a Beatle and they haven't put him in as a solo artist. It would be something stupid like that. But, you know. Yes, sir.
88 with the Beatles, 99 solo.
Okay, yeah, of course. Yeah, he's one of those. One of those. What was it? Stevie Nicks recently became one of those solo, and she was already in with Fleetwood Mac. I've said that Beyonce is probably one of those down the line because Destiny's Child should be in there, and she's going to be in there. Okay, and not like I'm a fan of her music. I actually like Destiny's Child. I like that brand of music, but I'm not really much of a fan of Beyonce's music. But just like Taylor Swift, not much of a fan, but I understand they're all gonna be in the Rock Hall, at one point or another. But it's pretty cool when you can have when you're that artist that you went in with a band and then you came up with a solo career that is. By the way, Dave Grohl's going to do that, right? Nirvana and solo now. Foo Fighters is, they've worked their way to becoming a Hall of Fame act too. That's another one that I would say in modern music that might be crossing over double overall. All right. What else do we have here? Lenny Pena, good morning to you, sir. True Fin fan, Gus 1388. Let's see. Big O, though we know the Dolphins will be bad the next 2 seasons at least, but I personally I'll go to hang out with you and Sean if you go. Yeah, I would do it, but I don't know if a bar would do it. You know what I mean? It would have to be like a hardcore Dolphins bar that wants to do it, and then we can then create, and that's better. By the way, speaking of that, just out of curiosity, if I take to a live next week, I have a whole bunch of live appearances, except for the soccer one at the end. I can't do that there. But in the other ones during the week, I have sign frames, picture frames. I found it when I was gutting the garage. I don't know if people would want any of this. I don't even know if I could give it away, to be quite honest. But they're all Chad Henne signed frames. Like I have several. And I even have 1 or 2 Devon Besses. So I don't know if you're a hardcore Dolphins fan. If I take it to Hialeah Park next Tuesday, would any of you go by and pick it up? Because I'm not going to carry all this shit and you guys aren't going to come by. But if you come by, it's legit. They're all legit signed. And I got stuff from Miami FC, coolers and coolies and some other stuff there, jerseys and all that. Any of you that show up, give it away. So if you're willing to go to Hialeah Park on Tuesday, I'll lug that stuff over. Okay. If I don't give it to you guys, the people that are gambling there, who, by the way, listen to the show and all that kind of stuff, they actually are listening and reacting while we're, because my voice carries a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed that. And so they can actually hear it, a lot of times into the part of the casino because I'm literally next to the tables. I'll definitely, I'm sure everybody takes free stuff, but I know you all are the hardcore and you listen to the show, and those of you that live close by, so I don't know. I would put Don Henley in there, Ocala Joe. I think his solo career is good enough for sure. I have no problem with that. I don't know. Is he in there twice? I know the Eagles are in, but they're probably, stupid enough not to put Don Henley in there, but he deserves to be in there twice. That's a good one. Hey, saw Wings play in London in the mid-'70s. Awesome. I'm so jealous, Rock Bear. So jealous. I was too young in those days. By the time Wings quit, it wasn't. I was hearing it as a kid all the time because that was music of my young adolescent to teenager, right? So yeah, and I love Wings, dude. Loved it. Really enjoyed the documentary. That was a cool documentary. It was good to kind of get his perspective on the whole thing, and they had a whole bunch of video and stuff from the past. So that was actually really, really cool. And all the little bit of what's it called, the uncomfortable part of being in Wings too was also brought to the table, which had to be tough for everybody not named Paul McCartney. You know, even for Denny Lane, who is, well regarded, accomplished, and everything before he even got there. You sometimes, those of us that follow it appreciate him, but it was one of those, was he appreciated enough overall? It was a good band too. That was the other thing. It turned into a good band, actually. So, it's a shame. And they made a lot of great music. If you haven't seen the doc, which, you guys turned me on to, I would tell you to definitely watch the Wings doc. That's really good. Man on the Run, I believe it's called. Stephen Harris, good morning to you, sir. Let's see. The only difficult part is I get out at 4:30 now. Traffic will get to me. Hialeah Park 5:45, just not sure if you'll be there by that time. Oh, no, I definitely am way gone by that time. I'm home at that time. Let's see, True Fin fan. So Wednesday, we're at Toyota of Hollywood from 11 to 1. Is that closer for you? Can you come by? Because for you, I'll save some stuff because you're hardcore. And then Friday, we're at Acura 10 to 12. That's in Pembroke Pines. So if you tell me you can come by during those times, some lunchtime, escapage, and you can get by, I'll save something for you. I'll save a bundle for you. I'll do that because you deserve it, True Fin fan. You are hardcore. You are a real supporter of this platform, and we appreciate that immensely. Sean and I appreciate that. All 6 years, I'm sure you were listening in other times and other places, but thank you for everything here on this platform. Says Friday is the best day for me. Not this Friday. I will definitely be there next. Well, it's not next Friday. It's 2 Fridays from then. So okay, we got you. All right, I'll save you a bundle. I'm gonna put away a little bundle for you, and I'll have it for you 3 Fridays from now. Okay, because we do it twice a month at Acura, but it's at the beginning of the month and towards the end of the month. So you can do that, right? 3. What are you going to tell me, Sean?
Well, I'm looking at what he's saying. He won't be there this Friday, which we're not there this Friday, but he's can next Friday, which should be the Friday we'll be there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm in the. I got a mix up in the audibles. Okay, so we got you next Friday. We got you.
That's if I read it right. That's the way I'm reading it.
Yeah. Next Friday. Yes, next Friday is when we're at Acura. We're done for the week. We have no more live appearances anywhere. We're in studio Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So yes, next Friday. Then I got you, True Fin fan. Yes, I got you. I got a bundle for you. Yes, got you, bro. Guaranteed. What else do we have? How do you feel about them calling the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That doesn't matter to me. I already know that it's a music Hall of Fame. People get all hung up with that. You got to let it go, dude. You got to let it go. They've been adding acts that aren't necessarily rock forever. It's a music Hall of Fame. They should actually change it. It reminds me of our idiot president. When he tweets out that there's these winter storms that are vicious. Well, I thought it was global warming, and they should have named it climate change, not global warming, because then you have idiots like Trump who are dumbasses and they think, it's only for heat, right? No, it's global warming because there's a lot of humidity in the atmosphere, and that will cause, you know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things. It's labeled one way, but it should be labeled the other way. It's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's a heavy metal rock Hall of Fame. There's a rap Hall of Fame. There's a country music Hall of Fame. This is the Music Hall of Fame. This includes a lot of genres of music. So it's not really rock and roll, because they realized as music was evolving that they could not limit themselves to one genre of music. You know what I mean? By the way, what's it called? Aretha Franklin. Is that really rock and roll? James Brown. Is that really rock and roll? You know what I'm saying? But so it all depends on the way you look at it. Okay? And it's not really considered a lot of the music that goes in there is not really considered rock and roll. But it's because it should be called the Music Hall of Fame. And then that way we won't have this discussion anymore. Just like it should be called climate change. That way we won't have this discussion and short-sightedness. And you think, oh, global warming. Oh, that means it's always hot? Wait a minute, but it's cold. So there we go. So it's really the Music Hall of Fame. Just it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's really not. It's the Music Hall of Fame. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. By the way, we are at 72,736. So we are now climbing fast to 73. Send in your questions, comments, insults, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Andrew Watson, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. He goes, Big O, miss you, brother. Took a month off, all from football. I'm back. Hoping Finns don't chase Willis and build in trenches. Give viewers a shot and draft another QB. Build the line of scrimmage and secondary. Keep the long-haired tight end. Well, they can keep the long-haired tight end because he's going to be cheap and young. That's what they want to go in. You've been missing. I've been telling you now for a couple weeks. I don't know Sullivan personally. Okay. I got to know a little bit his dad back in the day. So I know his dad a little bit, but I don't know Sullivan personally. But from what I'm reading, he's not going after Willis. I think it's just more of a smokescreen than anything else. I don't think he's going after Willis because that's not the Green Bay way. So, as I've said, since you took the month off, maybe those of you are just tuning in, notice, has Green Bay, do they put young players on a team that sucks? When? I'm sorry, did they do that to Favre? Did they do that to Aaron Rodgers? Did they do that to Jordan Love? Did they do that to Malik Willis? No, I think every time a young quarterback takes the field, it's kind of a ready-made team around him to support the guy. What a concept. And then, it's like the other stupid thing that we hear. Oh, well, the Dolphins don't have quarterback competition. Well, guess what? The Green Bay Packers have never had a quarterback competition in their entire lives. So these guys aren't about to have quarterback competitions. Okay. You'll have a competition for the backup quarterback spot because that's everywhere in the world. The guys behind the starter are the guys battling for some playing time if the starter goes down. But there's only one starter, and there's no competition. And nobody competed. They traded for Favre to replace Mikowski. They drafted Aaron Rodgers to replace Favre. They drafted Love to replace Rodgers. End of story. There's no competition. There's the heir apparent and the incumbent, or no, not the incumbent, what is it? The next in line. Okay, the heir to the throne. It's no competition. We've decided you're the past and you're the future. No competition. So, all these stupid things that are thrown out there and people just don't look at the facts. So I don't think they're going for Willis at all. And you lead me to one of my things that I wanted to talk about today, which is, have you noticed what's going on with Willis? And I think here's where the bright spot, I think, for us Dolphin fans. Right now I love everything that Sullivan and Half have done and said. And I think they're going to follow through and continue. I'm going to continue to love what they've done and said in the next couple of days. They're going to let go of Tua, as they've proven already. They're not going to sign Willis. They're going to go sign a veteran. But if you notice what's going on with Willis, check it out. Cleveland's interested. bad football team, bad organization. Matthew Berry, who I had no idea he was an insider. I thought he was a fantasy guy. He's throwing out there that Arizona is the lead dog. Another terrible organization. And then they throw Miami in there, obviously, because of our guys. Miami is a terrible organization, but I don't think they're going to make the normal terrible decisions that they normally make. I think these guys are going to make the responsible decision. Because if you notice, why isn't it that all the teams that really need a QB and they're really close, they're not all clamoring for Willis? Why is it all the shitty teams and the bad organizations are the ones that are going to give the money to Willis? Got to ask yourself that question. Because if I'm Houston, if he's so good, my guy's falling apart. Yeah, I may want to get him. If I'm Atlanta, I got a pretty good team, but Michael Penix is a sack of injuries. He can't stay healthy. Maybe I'm going to get him. If I'm the Vikings, my window's closing. I need to get him right now. And I don't see any of those teams really killing themselves. I've heard people mention the Vikings, but it's not. I think they're doing it out of just because they need a quarterback. And I've finally admitted that J.J. McCarthy is not the guy. That's why that GM got fired. So you look at this Willis situation, I just get a feeling that this is all smokescreen from the Miami side. And I'm going to be very happy that it's a smokescreen. I'm going to be super satisfied if they don't sign him. I'm going to be pissed if they sign Malik Willis. I just want you guys to know that ahead of time. I don't believe Malik Willis is the answer at all. And the dumbest thing when you're going through the next 2 years of hell and transition is to throw some kid out there that's not ready to do the job, and he's got to try to like keep you above water with a shitty team. That's a really stupid move. So that's what I would hold against Sullivan in half if they sign Willis. But I don't believe that's these guys. That's a Mike Tenenbaum move. That's a Jeff Ireland move. Oh, God, yes. That's a Dave Wannstedt move. I've been here for a long time. I've watched it all. Yeah, I know those kind of guys that would sign him. But this guy, if he's really from the Green Bay tree, and last time I checked, he was there for 2 decades. No. They sell you Matt Flynn. They don't buy Matt Flynn. They trade off Matt Flynn. They start Favre, and they start Rodgers, and then they start Love. They'll trade off Hasselbeck, and they'll trade off Brunell, and they'll trade off and they'll trade off or move on from guys that aren't as good as the guys that started for them. So I'm going to say that John Eric Sullivan learned a thing or two under Ron Wolf, Ted Thompson, and all the stories that were around for him. And I'm going to say that he is not going to do the stupid shit that's been done in the past, or some of the stupid shit that's been being written locally in the papers or talked about on QAM. Okay? Where those people failed this test. I think John Eric Sullivan's going to pass this test. So you will not have to worry, my brother. Okay? That's what I'm going to say, Andrew Watson. You will not have to worry. Okay? At all. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. By the way, speaking of Bitcoin, we are now at 73,000, I believe. Let me see. 72,808. 72,808 state. Okay. My favorite song, Moses. Let's see. What else do we have here? A Chris Greer move, says Frankie Fresco. Let's go. Think Blue Dodgers checking in from LA. Lenny Pena, I want a fresh start. Don't want any part of Willis or any other QB. I'd give Ewers an opportunity to win the starting job. I've already talked about it. But I just think that I'll explain to you what I think they're going to do at quarterback here on the show, but I just don't think it's going to be any of that other stuff that we've gone through in the past. Plus, they're well aware of where they're at right now. Why would they want to put a young quarterback in this situation that's going to be so chaotic? It's stupid. You saw what Ryan Tannehill looked at the beginning. I mean, he was scatterbrained anyways, but when he had no weapons to start, when Hartline was his best weapon, you know what I'm saying? Or the first year for Tua, these are things you don't want to do to young quarterbacks. So I think we're going to get the right thing, Lenny. I really do. Apparently, Warner recently spoken about Willis not worth much money. Who's Warner? Oh, Kurt Warner. They're saying Kurt Warner recently spoke about Willis not worth that much money. Okay. I got to tell you something. Usually, Kurt Warner and I agree on practically everything that he talks about. Like, I usually see shit the same way he sees it. Like, he saw how dysfunctional Mike McDaniel's offense was to the quarterback, how much of a detriment it is to the quarterback. And that's what I kept preaching every single year. Even when he's playing great, it's overcoming the detriment of Mike McDaniel, and he talked about it constantly. And it was like something that wasn't pointed out enough. So if he said that, Eric, I didn't see it, but I wouldn't be surprised because he feels like I do. Willis is definitely not worth that money. Oh my God. It's such a load of shit. Somebody's gonna get nailed. Anyway, let's see. Let's finally do the non-Dolphin thing and build both sides of the line. Yeah, I just think that this guy's going to do that. I hope I'm right on this one. Like, I really hope I'm right, because if I'm not, and he goes and signs Willis, it's going to be so depressing to start off this whole thing. Really depressing, You're trying to get out of cap hell, and that now you're going to sign somebody that's unproven for the money and put yourself. It's not like major financial risk, but it's not worth it, So what are you going to do? It is what it is. What can I tell you? All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the one and only Alan Blanco. He does excellent work. 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery. You need any uniforms, shirts, or hats, or whatever it is for your business, please call my guy. Or maybe you need it for a field trip or a picnic or something, because that's also been a very popular item that people have reached out for, that they need 50, 100, 200 shirts with a certain logo on it or something. You need that. They can do that and have it shipped to you right away. 786-618-1443. Devils took care of business against our Panthers last night, 5-1. Cats are now 10 points behind the 8th spot in the playoffs. So 10 games behind, 10 points behind is absolutely terrible. They've got 19 games left. 13 of them are on the road. Thursday, they're at Columbus. Heat last night took care of a deadbeat team in the Nets, 124-98. Bam had 23 points. Tyler had 22. Jaquez had 20. Thursday, they played the same sorry Nets at 7:30. NSU, baby. The Sharks. Yeah, over Rollins College. I just saw them beat Rollins the other night, and now they beat them, obviously, but they're in the tournament here for their 100th straight win. Ross Reeves, by the way, led the way with 32 points. Jackson Knapp had 19, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. They improved to 25-1, 19-1 in the Sunshine State Conference. So they now advance to the semifinals of the Sunshine State Conference. They are going to take on Barry University on Thursday. So congratulations to Nova on that one. Saturday at 4 o'clock, Fort Lauderdale United will be hosting the Orlando Pride at Beyond Bankcard Field. You can get tickets at ftlutd.com. I'll see you there. I'm going to be there with the wife on Saturday. Go check that out. And then also at 4:30 on Saturday, Inter Miami hits the road. They will visit DC United. DC United, by the way, is plus 350 at home. Okay. DC United is, Inter Miami is minus 145 there on the road at DC United. That's impressive. Man, that is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. What else do we have? Would you talk about Willis? I just can't see Sullivan falling for that shit. I don't know him, but how dumb can you be to overpay for an improving QB when you're in cap hell? How is that building the right way? Yeah, I totally agree. I understand some media members thinking that's silliness or writing it because they got to fill space and, throw it out there and all that kind of bullshit. I certainly can see it on QAM because, it's a lazy topic and all that kind of stuff. But come on, man. I've seen this story over and over and over again. Yeah, you don't take a chance on somebody like that. You don't start your career with that. Just like you don't start it, like I kept telling people, you don't start it with Tua Tagovailoa. If you're them, you have to move on. If Tua finds his way down the line somewhere, then so be it. But at the moment, you have to get your own fresh start. Because if you bring him aboard for a year, dude, you have now inherited. Now you've made it your problem. And so now people will go, and if it fails, then people will blame you and say, well, you're an idiot. You saw the last few years. Why did you bring him back? So you got to avoid that. Because whatever happens, you had hindsight and everything was right there for you. You saw everything that went on in his career. You saw the injuries. You saw the money. Everything was a logical decision at this point in time. You can't predict what's going to happen from here on out. See, with Sam Darnold, it's different. The guy balled out for you. You won 14, 15 games that year, and then you just let him walk away. And you could have had him for like $35 million or whatever it was. It wasn't like you had to pay him 50, 60. And you didn't. And you let him walk because your GM drafted and put his reputation on the line for J.J. McCarthy, and you screwed up. And now your window's closing. And I don't see them killing themselves for – and that guy knows QBs. So if Minnesota was the lead dog and they were like, oh, this, that, then I would go, okay, dude, O'Connell knows his shit. But if it's Cleveland, Arizona, and Miami mentioned with Willis, yeah, you know what? I'm not giving you any respect. I'm like, well, you know what it was like? Before Mario, we used to laugh that well, here's whatever coach the last couple of years. And remember, Sean, how we used to laugh? Oh, we're fighting for this recruit with Tulane, Navy, and Southeast Missouri State. And we're all looking at each other going, so we're battling for a guy that is thinking between us and Tulane? Now it's different. Now with Mario, it's, oh, they're thinking Ohio State, FSU, now it's Alabama. And, now you're getting the guys that are thinking about the same elite programs that, the ones you really want to beat. That's what that reminds me of. Okay. That's what it reminds me of. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Send your questions, comments, and insults. Andrew Watson, serious question. Thank you for the love again on Venmo. Very generous of you, sir. Says Big O, in the prime of their careers, who was the better ball handler? Tua in McD's bag of tricks offense or Pee Wee Herman at the movie theater? Oh, definitely Tua. Because Tua had the flip and all that other stuff. Pee Wee Herman got caught in the theater. So if you get caught, you mishandled your package. You know, Tua had flips, back, no, what is it? No seeing or no whatever flips. You know, he actually was a pretty good ball handler. Okay, no Steve DeBerg, but or Peyton Manning, but pretty good. Okay, pretty good. Marino didn't work on that shit. Marino is not the guy that was like all over, like, you know, perfect ball handler trying to hide and all, because he didn't take his running game serious anyways. So what's there to hide? Yeah. He didn't take his running game serious. I didn't take his running game serious. You didn't take his running game serious. His defense that he was facing didn't take the running game serious. The defensive coordinator that he was facing every week didn't take the running game serious. They took Marino serious. They didn't take anything else serious. So Marino's like, ball handling for what? We're throwing the ball. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate the question. Got to have fun in life. By the way, we are at 72,930. Climbing. I don't think this is the fake pump. I think we've recalibrated, found the bottom, taken off. So there you go. And congratulations to those of you that bought it. I don't know if you got it at 59 because it was there for just a second, but 61, 60, 62, 63, you're, you know, it's already up 10,000 from that point. You know, that's pretty good. All righty. So, and we're going to climb. So I'm not worried about that at all. Anyway, let's see. Jamie Zorri out in San Jose. It's a hump day. He's having a great day. Thank you for smashing it. Appreciate you. Thank you. And it looks like Sully and them are on their way to doing that. I think they will not. I'm with you, man. I think we actually have a couple of guys that think like what we need to think. And they're going to build it unlike all the idiots of the past. Build the team first, then go get the quarterback. Okay? Let's not put the cart before the horse. And then we're pressured to build the team because if you don't build it in time, you got to pay the quarterback, and then it throws everything off kilter. I just don't like that. I don't think that's a good thing or a smart thing to build that way. But that's just me. And we shall see. Well, we shall see. Okay. All righty. Talked about that. By the way, the WNBA players, I saw where the girl from Chicago, Reese, she's not going to play because of her salary and all that. The WNBA has got to watch out. They don't produce the kind of money they think they produce. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. Like, this is the weirdest league. They get a superstar. They don't know how to handle it. They have a little success, and they absolutely screw it up. What a joke of a league. And I enjoy watching the league, and I really want to support the ladies and all that. I mean, who else carries, the WNBA logo from Miami on their show? Only moi, because only moi is true 305. So I don't leave anything behind. I want to support, and I used to go to those games, but that's not going to stop me from calling shit the way it is. And the WNBA, wake the hell up. You're not that good. You know, you need to get, the girls back on the court and keep creating buzz like you are, and adding some players that are creating buzz. Paige Beckers did a nice job this year on creating a little extra buzz for the league. You keep them out of sight, out of mind. So it's kind of stupid, I just got to say. Really is. Dolphins. They sold 1% of the team yesterday to a Chinese billionaire. His name is Lin Bin. And the valuation for the team, or for the whole property, everything, because it's not just the team, it's F1 and the tennis tournament, the whole property, everything. It's worth $12.5 billion. So he bought 1% of that. So, Steve's got a little money infusion there that he has. He's the co-founder, vice chairman of Xiaomi, I want to say it's pronounced, or Xiaomi, something like that. It's a leading smartphone vendor in Beijing. All right. Bin, by the way, is number 305 in the world as the richest man in the world. Number 305. Forbes has him worth $10.3 billion. Okay. So he's got a little bit more to catch up to Steve, but, he's got his share of cash there. So Lin Bin is one of the new owners, and I guess he's in line to buy the team. If one day the kids want to sell and they're complete screw-ups and they can't get the team over the top, maybe Lin Bin is one of those guys that wants to buy the Dolphins. I have no idea. I'm just getting way ahead of myself here. Who knows? I hope the kids have success, because I'm a Dolphins fan. I don't need to see them suck. I'd like for somebody to have success. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So Steve has a little extra cash now, flooding in. 1% of $12.5 billion. Not bad. Not bad for him. He could treat himself to a little dinner tonight. I think that's a good one there. We got the World Baseball Classic starting tonight. Looking forward to it. They've got Friday, by the way, is USA and Brazil. 10 teams, 2 5-division teams, and 2 from each side advance. And we'll see if the USA can advance. We shall see. Well, what is Aaron Judge's average in World Baseball Classics? Because I know he chokes in the playoffs. Just thinking, So, that's a Yankee thing. We don't understand that choking stuff. That's a Yankee thing with Aaron Judge. But I'm wondering in the baseball in the Baseball Classic, what's his average there? Does he do better in the Baseball Classic than he does in the playoffs? That's one choking dog right there. So hopefully he could do better. Oh man. 73,165. As Chevy Chase would say, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. We are up 8.3%, man. Not bad. How's the markets doing? We popped a little bit now in the markets, by the way. 233 points. What came in that they're buying? Well, I know the rich are taking advantage, but something came in, right? Something must have moved the needle. I know they said that there was some stuff that Iran reached out to try to get a settlement, which would be stupid, of course, because they're talking about, just it's the whole thing is stupid. First of all, on our side, we're talking about, the guys that we were thinking about in line are dead now. It's like, why would you want any of those people that are there in line to take over? They're all a bunch of wackos. Those people are all psychos. They're not going to change. We're not going to change that place, but whatever. And then they're like, "Oh, hey, we will back on our nuclear program, but we want to keep our people in place. They'll come back eventually, like roaches. They'll never die." So crazy, dude. Crazy. It is sad. Prayers for our troops, because there's talk of even boots on the ground, which is scary. Scary, scary stuff. Hey, by the way, we've got to be happy for Tyreek Hill, folks. Tyreek Hill had a big-time victory. He is winning, as they say. So as you all know, Tyreek Hill broke Sophie Hall's leg, the IG model, the curvy IG model. So Tyreek Hill is without an NFL home, as TMZ tells us the obvious, but he still picked up a win on the ongoing battle with Sophie Hall, as a judge denied the mode's request to force the receiver to take a court-mandated psych exam. Thank God he won, because his ass would have failed. Judge David Haynes filed his decision recently denying a motion filed by Hall's legal team in December that was looking for Hill to sit down with a licensed psychologist to determine the full scope of the defendant's mental state, aggression, and culpability. Her filing stated that it was critical for Hall to have Hill go through the exam, saying they needed an expert who specializes in the field to evaluate the defendant's long-standing pattern of anger and aggression towards others. Tyreek? Aggression towards others? An old man at a pier would differ. Anyway, particular women, his documented history or violent behavior, like in college? No, that would never happen. Including issues related to anger management, impulse controls, and aggression, which are directly in controversy and forms a critical component of this case. In response filed by the NFL star legal team, Hill slammed Hall's request for the exam, saying she failed to show a good reason for ordering the psych exam, calling it a completely baseless intrusion into his mental state. Yeah, because, really, do you want to travel into that mind? It's crazy. The suit stems from an alleged incident that occurred in the summer of 23. Hall, a social media influencer, claimed Hill broke her leg in a fit of rage in the backyard during a football drill. She claims after Hill asked her to rush against him in a defensive line versus offensive line one-on-one style workout, she shoved the Super Bowl champion backwards, which embarrassed him. Have you seen her? Have you seen him? He's a midget. She's a thick ass mama. Like, she's got more force coming at you. Okay? She says after flipping the roles so he could rush her, Hill charged her violently with great force, resulting in the right leg injury. She's suing Tyreek for unspecified damage. I'm suing for bullshit. Where's the video? Nobody was filming in the Tyreek family. Some curvy ass IG model playing football with Tyreek. Huh? Nobody was filming that? I know she wasn't because she was playing, so she couldn't film it, so she can't have the evidence. But you just wonder, are there any cameras for the backyard? Video somewhere. So that's very convenient how there's no video of this. It's really convenient. Just saying. But anyway, congratulations to Tyreek. They won't expose how crazy he really is when we know he is crazy. Very crazy. What can I tell you, folks? What can I tell you? Let's see. Oh, the Dow is up 318 points. Bounce back. Bitcoin's at 73,354. So now we're moving and a grooving. I like it. I like it. I like it. Inter Miami, their new stadium, well, will be new also, because Inter Miami has inked a new deal. They are now going to be known as New Stadium at Miami Freedom Park. They signed a deal with New Holdings that gives the financial technology behemoth naming rights for the team's new stadium and space on its famous pink jerseys. The multi-year agreement gives New a prominent perch in the plans of a U.S. expansion, with Miami as its headquarters in the country. Founded in Brazil in 2013, New has ballooned to some 130 million customers across three countries in Latin America and is awaiting its banking license, U.S. banking license. The naming rights will jumpstart progress on building a brand in the U.S., which is New's biggest challenge, says Cristina Junquenera, the fintech's co-founder and chief executive officer for the U.S. Inter Miami's new home, 26,700-seat venue near Miami International Airport, will be known as New Stadium, NU. The partnership will expand to a surrounding commercial and retail development known as Miami Freedom Park. And the business and entertainment district will also have office buildings that could eventually host new employees. They're going to hire new employees, but they're going to have new employees and you employees, besides the new employees that they'll be hiring throughout that place. Financial terms of the agreement weren't disclosed, but Inter Miami owner Jorge Mas called it one of the most significant partnerships in the history of any of the top 5 major leagues in the United States. Mas said he was inundated with different options and pitches for the new stadium, which will house the most valuable U.S. soccer club. The deal with Sao Paulo-based New is far-reaching partnership that goes beyond a name. I'm in a Hispanic city, I'm a global team, and I want to do something with a global company, he said. It's not a stadium naming rights deal. It's not a jersey deal. It's a true partnership. The stadium will open April 4th for Inter Miami's match against Austin FC. It will also host concerts, corporate and private events, and other sporting events, according to the statement. So, there you go. And I want to add something to this, because when I read this, I'm in a Hispanic city. I'm a global team, and I want to do something with a global company. He said it's not a stadium naming rights deal. It's not a jersey deal. It's a true partnership. And one of the things that I understand, and to a certain degree disagree, is that they have taken on, and I get it because they're thinking big. They want to have an international brand. They want to be known as an international team. But they've kind of left behind the entire soccer history of South Florida. And to me, I think it's kind of important to embrace all of that, because that's how we got here. Without the Gatos, without starting with the Gatos and the Toros, and then leading into the Strikers and the Fusion and everything else, and Miami FC and everything that we've had in between and all throughout, kind of leads up to this. And I personally would, if I owned the team like this, I understand that you want to push for international and all that, because that allows you to sell more jerseys, and you go and bring international names like a Messi that also expands your brand. I get all of that. But at the same time, man, embrace what happened here all throughout. And I personally would have created some kind of a soccer Hall of Fame, for Inter Miami. But it is what it is. They're thinking global, which I can't blame them. I really can't blame them. I just wish, they won the championship and they didn't party with the city. They're going to go to the White House, but they didn't have a parade. Players don't really connect with the team. They don't really go on they're not on media all over the place and all that, like the Fusion did. Even the Strikers to back in the day, there was very little media in those days, but they still, whatever little media there was, Miami News or local channels, they did it. And the Fusion did it big with Ray. These guys have done nothing. It was the most uncelebrated championship in the history of South Florida. They have done a piss poor job of connecting with the South Florida community. And it goes from the people, the championship, the parades, or like I was talking about, embracing the local soccer history, all of those things. They've done a really shit job of that. It's basically, you're an international club, you hire mercenaries, they're here today, they're gone tomorrow, they connect with no one. And, it's not like you see with the Panthers, that there's a connection with the fans, that the players care about connecting and being around the fans. It's Kachuk with the gold medal hanging out at the elbow room. It's Kachuk with the trophy hanging out at the elbow room or diving in the ocean. I just wish the franchise would do a much better job of connecting with the community that they want to milk the money from. That's all I'm saying. And they do a shitty job from top to bottom. All right. 73,095 now. We are up 7% on the day. All right. There we go. So I guess we got it moving in the right direction right now. Finally, those of you that were patient, it pays off, right? It pays off. All right. By the way, Toyota of Hollywood, we will be there next week, next Wednesday. We're always there on the second Wednesday of the month. And they've got like 2,000 cars, over 1,200 new cars in stock. They are loaded, man, top to bottom. The vehicles are just absolutely crazy, dude. The 4Runner is a beautiful vehicle. The Tundra, the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the BRZ. It just goes on and on and on and on. The different Corollas now, little SUV Corolla, the hybrid Corolla. It's really exploding. Check it out. The selection is second to none. Like I told you, they got a ton of cars. So when you go pick a Corolla, it's not like there's 3 of them there. Now there might be like 75 of them. Camrys, whatever, you're looking for a Camry, a hybrid, they've got them all for you, man. You're looking for a Supra, they've got a couple Supras, man. There are some Toyota dealerships that have no Supras. At Toyota Hollywood, you'll get a Supra, man. Check it out. They've got no payments for 90 days, 2.75% financing for 4 full years, 0 down. The Camry LE sedan right now, you can get it for $299 a month, 0 down. Go check them out at 1841 North State Road 7. They're on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Herbie Lopez, all the great people out there, tell them that Big O sent you at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Lynn Bin Waste Management, Stephen Ross. We can't get out of the trash business. Yep, Lynn Bin. I like it. Big O, according to Google, there is an Aaron Judge's first ever appearance. Oh, this is his first. So he has no record. Okay. Well, it's a big moment for him. I wouldn't count on him. That's for sure. Xiaomi is a big company in Europe. It's like the third after iPhone and Samsung. Okay. Stephen Harris says, Big O, I was about to say that Hill didn't knock up another woman. Hey, listen, what's it called? Was it Xavier Howard was at the Dolphins Cancer Challenge this weekend. I was asking myself that same question. Did he impregnate anybody out there? You know, because he's out there all day. You know, X is a horny dude. So I was wondering about that. Like, woman gets pregnant in Dolphin Cancer Challenge. Xavier Howard and woman have sex in porta potty or something, you know, consummate kid. I'm kind of expecting a headline like that in a couple of months, you know. But by the way, in all seriousness, congratulations to all of you that participated in the Cancer Challenge and raising a ton of money for a great cause. So good stuff there, man. What else do we have going on? She sounds better than Eichenberg. Sign her up. Oh, well, yeah, she's got some force. If you look at those thighs, you know, and you know, offensive line coaches like looking at asses. If the guy has no ass, they're kind of like, hey, this guy may not have the base that I need. But if he's got an ass, it's like, oh, he's got a better base. So she's got a base that you don't want to sit on your face. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yes, Costa, it would definitely be stupid to sign Malik Willis and incompetent, but that's the test. If Sully does this, then I'm going to say, oh, man, I don't know if we got the right guy. But I think he's not. His track record is not to do something like this. That's not a Green Bay track record thing. They don't do stuff like that. Yeah, I saw the prices for Metallica tickets, Mike Fox. I'm not going. It's just too much. You know, I wanted to go badly. I wanted to go. It starts on my birthday, October 1st. So I wanted to go on the 1st and the 3rd. It's ridiculous. And when I started doing the math, I'm like, you know, and I've seen Metallica a shit ton of times, but I'd love to see them there, to be quite honest. But it's just not worth it. It's too much. It's such a money grab that, you know, I paid a fraction of that to see U2, a fraction of that to go see No Doubt in May. And why aren't they charging right around the same thing? I paid right in the 200 area, 2 something, a little over 200, just a little over 200. Why can't Metallica charge something like that? Why do they have to charge $600, $800, $1,000, $1,200? No, dude. Not doing that. So, yeah, I can't go. I'm not rich, man. You know, I'm a working stiff. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Karoon says no one broke ankles from cornerback safeties and offensive models like Tyreek. Okay. I would imagine, yes.
I think that's OnlyFans.
Oh, OnlyFans models like Tyreek Hill. There you go. Okay. All right. Well, she's kind of offensive because she put him on his ass. Anthony says, anybody want my tickets for tomorrow? Heat Nets for a Flanagan's meal. LOL. I'm in section 102. The prices around me are $49 a ticket. There you go. A Flanagan's meal is a good trade-off for those tickets. That's a good one right there. So we have JV Green Bay Dolphins next year, and this season we have Sioux Falls varsity in Biscayne Boulevard. Basically. Big O Spinal Tap said it best in their song Big Bottoms. The wider the waistband, the deeper the quicksand. That is really good. That is really good. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let me get to some music before I get to a little more Dolphins here. Oh, man. All right. Let me get to it here. Let's start off with musicians born on this date, March 4th. All right. Jeremiah Green, founding member of Modest Mouse, born in 1977. Fergal Lawler, drummer with the Irish rock band The Cranberries, born in 1971. Dolores was so talented, man. What a shame. Let's see who else. Evan Dando from the alternative rock band The Lemonheads, born in 1967. Patrick Hannon, drummer with The Sundays. Here's where the story ends, born in 1966. Jason Newsted, bassist for Metallica, speaking of Metallica, born in 1963. Boone Gold, guitarist for Level 42, born in 1955. We lost him in 2019 at the age of 64. St. Clair I. Palmer from the British soul group Sweet Sensation, born in 1954. Emilio Estefan, born in 1953, the Cuban-American musician, producer, and of course, Miami Sound Machine director, born in 1953. Pete Haycock from the Climax Blues Band, born in 1952. Chris Squire, founding member of Yes, rest in peace. We lost him in 2015 to leukemia. Born in 1948 on this date, and by the way, one of the great bassists in rock and roll history, baby. Chris Squire is awesome. Awesome. Let's see who else. Shakin' Stevens, a.k.a. Michael Barrett, the Welsh singer, born in 1948. Let's see who else. Bobby Womack, the great Bobby Womack, the American singer and songwriter. Let's see. And he was the singer of the Valentinos and also was Sam Cooke's backing guitarist, born in 1944. Let's see who else. Eric Allendale from the Foundations, the trombonist, born in 1936. And that is it for musicians. Now we move on to famous people born on March 4th. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means that they have passed away, unfortunately, like musician Antonio Vivaldi, born in 1678. College Football Hall of Fame member Newt Rockne, born in 1888. Actor, musician Barbara McNair, born in 1934. I was just thinking about it. Newt Rockne, born in 1888. That is actually really cool because you were 1 and then all 8s. And then I'm thinking my daughter was born in 1999, so it's kind of the same shit because she has the 1 and all the 9s. Let's see what else. Writer James Elroy, born in 1948. He's actually 78 today, still with us. Thank God. Let's see. Actress Catherine O'Hara, we just lost her, born in 1954. Actress Patricia Heaton, born in 1958. She's 68 today. Actor Steven Weber, born in 1961. He's 65. Oh, who else here? Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, born in 1968. He's 58. Well, I got it wrong. Chaz Bono, born in 1969, 57 today. Soccer Hall of Fame member Landon Donovan, born in 1982. He's 44 today. NBA player and all-around asshole Draymond Green, born in 1990. He's 36. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Drew Donovan turns 41. Crazy Steve is 42. Crowbar is 52. Dalton Castle from Ring of Honor is 40. Sarah Stock turns 47. And the Lucky Kid turns 33 on March 4th, 2026.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Don't forget, folks, at Hialeah Park, they are giving away a brand new Lexus from Lexus of North Miami, part of the Craig Zinn family. And in March, they've got 9 to 10 a.m. They've got black card promotions going on. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. They've got Morning Flamingo, 12 to 10 p.m., $500 high hand. We've got so many things going on Fridays and Saturdays. $1,000 raffle with rollover. 12 a.m. second chance raffle, $1,000 raffle with rollover. Go check it out after 10 p.m. If under $4 cash game table players, they can receive one ticket for $1,000 raffle and one ticket for the Portugal versus Colombia drawing, Frankie. Each triple jack and two deuces. In Texas, triple aces and two deuces. One for each raffle. So there you go. I don't know what I read there because I'm not a poker expert, but maybe you can understand my gibberish there. Black Coffee, by the way, will be performing at Hialeah Park. It'll be March 28th. So if you want to catch Black Coffee, check it out. And then, of course, you can watch the Colombia and Portugal game, and you can win tickets, all that good stuff. They've got poker table games and raffles and all that going on during the match. So there you go. Visit our friends at Hialeah Park, baby. All right. Let's go with music history now, right? Let's what happened today in Musica history. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even pull it up here. Here we go. All right. I really need to change this iPad. It's falling apart on me already. All right, let's start off with music history. Here we go. We're going to start off with 71, where the Rolling Stones announced they were moving to France, mostly for tax purposes. I don't blame you. I'm going to end up moving because of affordability purposes. In 83, Spandau Ballet released their third studio album, True, and it features the singles Lifeline, Communication, True, and Gold. Let's see what else. In 89, Debbie Gibson started a 3-week run at number one on the U.S. singles charts with Lost in Your Eyes, her second U.S. number one. In 91, Morrissey released his second studio album, Kill Uncle. It features the singles Our Frank and Sing Your Life. I think, if I'm correct, Kill Uncle, can you look it up? Morrissey, Kill Uncle. Does it have November Spawn the Monster? Is that the album? It's either the second or third album where he had November Spawn the Monster, I want to say. That's my favorite song from the Morrissey solo. By the way, he's another one that should be in there twice. I know people will disagree with me. Obviously, the Smiths belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's like it's not even up for a discussion. But Morrissey, I think his solo career has been Hall of Fame, man. He's got so many great songs. So, anyway, we move on. In 94, Kurt Cobain was rushed to the hospital after overdosing on alcohol and drugs in a Rome hotel room during a Nirvana European tour. Cobain had taken 50 to 60 pills of Rifonol and mixed it with champagne. Rumors circulated that Kurt was dead. I do that all the time. You sleep it off. It'll be fine. Let's see. In 99, Victoria Posh Spice Beckham gave birth to the baby son, Brooklyn. Husband David Beckham, a star midfielder with Manchester United at the time, greeted the media with the news. You got an answer for me on that? In 2003, Evanescence released their debut studio album, Fallen. It features the singles Bring Me to Life, Going Under, My Immortal, great song, everybody's fool. In 2009, when she wasn't crazy, Britney Spears kicked off a world tour in New Orleans, her first concert tour in 5 years. The 27-year-old dressed as a circus ringmaster in the show and featured jugglers, acrobats, and martial arts dancers. Bro, you watch that woman now, she is falling apart completely. And so is her clothes. It's bad. And nobody can help her. She just sold her catalog of music, so she got some more money, because I'm sure she was going broke, because she's probably living an extravagant lifestyle that she cannot afford anymore. That's bad, dude. It's sad, right? Because she was so loved by so many kids. In 2016, Kendrick Lamar released his compilation album Untitled, Unmastered. It features the singles Untitled 07. Let's see if there's any birthdays. Yes, sir.
You said Kill Uncle, right?
Yeah, that album, yes.
Yeah, I don't. What was the name of the song again?
November Spawned a Monster.
I don't see that one on there.
Okay. It's probably the next album after that. It's probably what it is. Let's see what else. The Grand Poobah is 60 today. That wasn't on the list. There you go. Happy birthday, Grand Poobah. Ivy Queen is 54. I wasn't there either on that list. All right. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. Oh, what do you got?
It was on the album Bona Drag.
Bona Drag. There you go. Great song, dude. Great song. November Spawned a Monster. Just kick it on your iTunes and just drive and jam. Trust me on that. As long as you like Smith and Morrissey, if you like that kind of music, then you will love November Spawned a Monster. It's got it goes through some stages. It's a creative song. Anyway, what else do we have going on in the world of sports to talk about? Definitely talk about a little Dolphins. And I've been talking about this. I've been now predicting this. We'll see if it happens. I'm putting a little confidence in John Eric Sullivan, who I know nothing about. I don't think he's going to do the silly stuff. I think he's going to do the smart stuff. And so Barry Jackson in the Miami Herald, he wrote that the Dolphins are probably more in the market of going after a veteran QB, not really the whole Malik Willis thing. Like, they're interested in all that, and that's what they're writing locally. And I think it's more of a smokescreen to help the kid because they were with him and they were around him and all that kind of stuff. And they don't want to shit on anything, They don't want to be dicks. So I think they're kind of going along with it. I don't think they have any interest in signing Malik Willis. I think they're going to do what Barry Jackson just put out there, that he's hearing now, that that they think they'll go after a veteran quarterback. And that's what I've been telling you. You go after the Joe Flacco's of the world and the Jimmy Garoppolos and the Geno Smiths and the Andy Daltons and the, just a mediocre quarterback. But it's a veteran that can complete a couple of passes, maybe keep you afloat for a game or two or three, and then you'll have Ewers, and then you'll draft a kid in the third day, and he'll compete with Ewers for the backup spot, and you'll probably try those young guys along the way throughout the year to see what they're doing. But you want to start off with some kind of a veteran. Whatever it is, dude, Jameis Winston. Something like that. Some guy you're going to pay 10, 15, 18 million to, because that's what a backup quarterback gets. Okay. Believe it or not, that's probably what you're going to pay those kind of guys. and just roll with that and go with that. And that's what, Barry was reporting. It's what I've been saying for a while now, that these guys aren't going to do the stupid thing with Willis. They're going to do the smart thing. They're going to go low key this year when it comes to quarterbacks. No big money free agents, no high draft picks, none of that, because the team is not ready for that right now. Okay? And so why would you do that and put a young quarterback or an unproven quarterback through hell behind that line? You're already going to do it to yours and whoever you draft in the third day. But those aren't any kind of gambles. You're not risking any kind of money. You're not risking any kind of high draft pick. So that's a gamble that's worth it. And so what you do is you get by with the Flaccos or the Winstons of the world or the Garoppolos or whatever, anything like that. I don't care. They're all the same. Doesn't really matter. But it's not about sexiness. It's not about winning. It's not about trying to make you happier week in and week out because you want to try to think you could get a more productive quarterback at that spot. It's not about that. It's about developing a team and a culture and getting by this season. And that's what you'll do with a Flacco or a Winston or Garoppolo or whatever, dude. You have to settle for a stinking Andy Dalton or something. I don't even know if he's available, actually, to be quite honest. But you know what I mean. It's just you're going to get a guy like that. That's what to expect. So don't build your hopes up for anything because it's not going to happen. And two, it's not the smart thing to do. The smart thing to do is what I just told you. And that's what I think they're going to do. And again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If it happens, I'm going to be really happy. Not because the team's going to suck and because they're not going to have a good QB or anything like that. It's because you're willing to take the hit for the betterment of the team down the line. That's all. There's no reason to kill yourself this year. You don't need to kill yourself for a bunch of wins. It's not about that right now. So what? You need to go spend a little bit more or take a higher draft pick because you might win 2 more games or something? So instead of 3, you win 5. Instead of 5, you win 7. What does that do for you? It's not really what it's about. So reading what Barry Jackson wrote in the paper today, I was like, okay, this is what makes sense. And if this is what happens, then at least I'm happy that right now it looks like you've got the smart people that took over. So we'll see. Too bad Earl Morrall isn't available anymore as a backup QB. Yep. It'd be a little harder to catch, too, because he's like all bones now at this point. So he'd be quicker, more agile. There's not a lot to grab. So, yeah, he's pretty good. His hair would be a lot shorter now than it was then. So, yeah, Draymond Green is such a douchebag. Can't stand that guy. Now, that's the definition of a super role player. He knows damn well if he would have been drafted by another franchise, he would have been a Jag. I'm just sick of that guy. And I don't know how people give him more, attention. Bring him on to shows or commercials or whatever. I don't even know how a company says, yeah, I want Draymond Green to be representing my company. Like that car company. I don't know which one it is. Like, why would you do that? Why would you pick Draymond Green? I just wouldn't pick Draymond Green. Draymond Green's not the guy that I would pick to represent anything for me. Not my team, not a product, not a city, nothing. I think he's the lowest of lowest forms out there in basketball. So, yeah. All right, folks, we are out of here. We thank the great Sean Stanley. That is all. There's not much to talk about. And, an hour and 36 minutes is like 4 hours of talk and regular radio. because we don't really take a bunch of commercial breaks and 9-minute breaks and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I appreciate you all out there. Thank you all. If you hit the like button, I appreciate it. Hit the notification bell, subscribe. If you made a donation to Cash App or Venmo, thank you, or Super Chat, we appreciate you. You can make a donation anytime, anywhere. We'll see it, and we'll get back to you and appreciate it. Tomorrow and Friday, we're still in studio, and we'll be on at 10 a.m. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bad channel.